Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Oh, Breeze Nation, what's good? We are back at it again. The Chicago Bears take a 30-12 loss to the Minnesota Vikings. Not unexpected. Not unexpected. But did the Vikings game confirm something that is concerning about one Caleb Williams? Did for me. Then we got to talk about, has Ryan Poles wasted this Bears draft capital at times? He's got some hits. He's got the singles. But you need those B-sides to make the album. And then finally, is this a simple coaching fix away from solving the issues? We'll talk about all that and more in today's episode of The Morning Breeze. The date is 12/17/2024. It's 7:02 in the doggone morning. And I tell you right now, it's not getting better. Let's go! Hey, big vibes, big vibes. We live on God, design, I'm high. Oh yeah, we are. Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show and love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Another day of being a Bears fan, another day of feeling like you don't got the answer. Hey, you don't got the answers, pal. You don't have the answers, Sway. I wish Sway had the answers. Another day of feeling like this team, this franchise, are they going in the right direction? Every time you take 2 steps forward, it feels like you take 10 steps backwards. And hopefully we can get that together. But here's where I want to start the show. Because, listen, I am a big Caleb Williams fan. I do think that he's the right pick. I'm not somebody who's going to come on here and be like, I can't believe that you took this kid. This is the worst thing in the world. I don't believe that. I think that he can play NFL football, and I think that he's somebody who will be a good quarterback in this league. But the Vikings game for me confirmed something that has been inconsistent all season. And not to say you could put the entire game on Caleb Williams, but I do think you have to have a conversation around his misses being a reason that you're in the position you're in some of these games. Now, that does not change the fact that the offensive line has been abysmal. I mean, Coleman Shelton pretty much started the game on his back and spent a good chunk of time there. It does not change the fact that Caleb Williams at times is holding the football too long. But I think here's the thing. I can deal with you holding the football too long at times if you're holding the football too long to make sure that you hit the receiver who's open downfield. I can deal with you holding the football too long at times if when you're holding that football too long at times, you're being accurate with the decision that you're making on the other side of it. The problem is Caleb Williams is doubling down on both. Not only is he holding the football too long at times, he's also missing the touchdowns that are streaking down the field. Yesterday, you saw two of them that should have been touchdown passes. One to Roma Dunza on the right side, one to Keenan Allen on the left side. Yeah, you're standing in there, you're taking the shot. That's what you're doing, the quarterback thing. But you have to be able to hit that deep shot, which is something that you were praised for coming in. Which is something that you were praised for coming in, because you know you have an offensive line that's built of basically 5 paper bags. Because you know you're not going to get that many opportunities to go out there and score touchdowns. You can't let the ones slip away that are available to you. Again, I'm not saying this entire season, yesterday is on Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is a rookie quarterback. He's going to make rookie mistakes. But I do think that it is okay to call out the inefficiencies in Caleb Williams' deep ball accuracy, especially on the outside the numbers. I do think that it's okay to say, hey, I get it. This is all bad. But if you make this pass, that's 7 points. And you lost yesterday's game 30-12. Again, am I sitting here saying if he throws a perfect game, everything is perfect? No. Again, it's not all on Caleb Williams, but to me, it does confirm a major concern for me, which is while Caleb Williams is a very efficient quarterback, are you good at the situational efficiency? When you get into the red zone and you need that touchdown pass that's going to be back of the end zone, whatever, there's too many miscommunications. Again, maybe you can attribute that more to coaching than anything. I think that is a valid claim. But we are on week 15 of the NFL season. And you and Keenan Allen aren't on the same page on if he should go to the back pylon or if you should throw it short for a comeback. You and DJ Moore aren't on the same page on, okay, do I need to put this ball in between the numbers or do I need to put this to the outside and you go out there and get it? And when you are on the same page, you look like the exact offense we hoped you looked for. You look like. When you are on the same page, we have no questions about who the Chicago Bears are. We have no questions about who the Bears offense is. But too often than not, we finish this game going, that should have been a touchdown. How many times every week do we say that? And for me, listen, I think for what I would describe Caleb Williams' rookie season as is I am cautiously optimistic. I see a young quarterback who can make all of the throws, who can be a superstar, who can drive you down the field in the biggest moments and put you in a position to win games. I am cautiously optimistic. But as we get to year 2, year 3, year 4, those deep shots where guys pop open, boom, he's down there. You got to make the throw. And you got to make the throw on time. You got to make the throw accurately. And I'd tell you to look at the guy who stood across the field from you yesterday. Sam Darnold didn't make the most miraculous throws yesterday. But when Justin Jefferson finally got an opportunity to be one-on-one and broke down the field, he was able to hit him. Again, I don't think that it's all on Caleb. I don't think that it just falls on his shoulders, but he's got to bear a part of the blame as well. And we could say rookie quarterback, rookie quarterback, rookie quarterback. Something's off with this offense as a whole. You've got guys still not on the same page in week 15. Caleb still doesn't know where his receivers want to go in week 14. I'm a big believer in it's okay to call out a guy when a guy is a part of the reason. No matter how much you like him, no matter how much he's your guy. And I'm still with Kid. I do think we have a quarterback. I think you need to help him out a little bit. But I also think it's okay to call out that quarterback when he's missing guys who are streaking naked on the outside. Keenan Allen ran a beautiful route yesterday on the left side, wide open. Caleb sails it. You got to get better to me in that situational efficiency. When that moment is open, the big boys hit that guy. Those are game-changing plays. Those are plays where, right, and this is why when everybody goes to Joe Burrow, when everybody talks Joe Burrow, this is why Joe Burrow's able to survive a horrible offensive line. Joe Burrow doesn't miss those throws on a consistent basis. Joe Burrow doesn't sail passes over Jamar Chase's head. Joe Burrow's on the same page with the receiving corps, and everyone has the same understanding that, hey, these guys up front, they suck. So get to your spots quickly. Paulie G with the super chat. Shout out Paulie G. Said we need a coach who will teach him and take what the defense gives him. We need an entire brand new line, and Rojo needs, I'm assuming you're saying more touches. Well, Rojo wasn't even healthy yesterday, so Rojo's not a factor in yesterday's game. But yeah, I would like to see more out of Rojo. Y'all know I'm not a big fan of Mr. $8 million. I do think there's something to be said about, getting him to take the underneath pass. He's looking for the deep pass. You may not, more times than not, especially with the team you have. And I think that is the tough part, right? Caleb is adjusting to going from a team at USC that pretty much was the same kind of build. And now it's like, hey, kid, you can't do that in the NFL. Yeah, you got to dance around, and you're going to have those moments. You saw him last night, the moments where he's dancing around and he's able to create something with his feet, and he's able to create space. He's able to get himself to a position where he's able to put the football in a good spot, and it's at least a 50-50 ball for Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen completely, old man, mistimes it, and it doesn't come down with it. But also, those moments are far and few in between. And more times than not, when you got Rome Odunze coming over the middle, I need you not to be looking downfield, because guess what? Coleman Shelton can't block. Karan Amagaji, first game in there as a starter, doesn't look good. I don't care what the PFF numbers say about Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright lets a lot of people get past him. Now everybody's beating their chest on PFF numbers for Darnell Wright. Here we go. Put fifth in the building. I tell you, take those numbers with a grain of salt. Look at what you're seeing on the field as well as what you're seeing from the player. You can look at those numbers. Those numbers do have a place in the game. But you also got to look at what you're seeing on the field. But in the long run, listen, do I feel like the quarterback question is not less of a question this year than it was last season? Sure. Do I feel better about the quarterback in his rookie year heading into his second season? Sure. But now here's where my concern gets even greater. Because you have to not only take the offensive inefficiencies that we've seen from Caleb Williams, and you have to pair them up with what's actually on the field. And I'll tell you what, once again, we got an opportunity to look at a Ryan Poles rookie last night. Doesn't look like he belongs on an NFL football field. I get it. First start ever. Could take some time. There's going to be some development in place. But the reason that we praised Ryan Poles for the Braxton Jones pick initially was because Braxton Jones looked like he belonged on a football field. Braxton Jones looked like he belonged on an NFL field, which is also why he ended up winning that starting left tackle job coming out of training camp. I want to talk about that. Has Ryan Poles wasted the Chicago Bears draft capital? Yo, we got 194 in the building, only 26 likes on the video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We got 140 over on the Twitter side. Actually, we got over 100 in the, hit the wrong one. Hit the wrong one there. Give me a second. Over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat. Over 300 in the chat. There you go. Retweet this thing over on the or re-X this thing over on the X side. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll talk about, has Ryan Poles wasted the Chicago Bears draft capital after a quick word from our sponsors. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Just got done talking about Caleb Williams. Some of the struggles that he's going through that he's going to have to overcome. Now we got to talk about if the guy up top can get him some help. And should we be concerned by the guy up top? Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Need y'all go ahead and do me a favor because I ain't played this at the top. I need y'all go ahead and
come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said, man. Push the button. Hit that like button, man. All right, let's keep this thing moving along. because I think there is a major question that that you have to look at your GM on. Because while I do believe that you got the hits, right? Think that you got those guys at the top of the draft that we look at and go impact piece. Think that you got those guys in the second round and we go solid depth piece. I like Gervon Dexter. Love the step that Gervon Dexter took this season. I like where some of those top first and second round picks are. But when you go back and you look at the slew of third round picks that have been here, by the way, it ain't good. Last 3 third round picks for the Chicago Bears. You ready for this, Chicago? Karan Amagaji. First game yesterday, but feels like a miss. First game yesterday, but feels like it's not off to a good start. Maybe it gets a heck of a lot better. And I'm eating those words one day. But I've told y'all the entire time, Karan Amagaji is built very similarly to Braxton Jones. Not sure why this at the most important position outside of the center on this line, we keep going out and getting projects in the third round. Zach Pickens, who, I mean, listen, let's be real, just hasn't developed, hasn't played well. I saw him one time yesterday on the field, and it was just him grabbing at Aaron Jones' legs as Aaron Jones ran past him. Velus Jones. The third round is not a place where you just take chances. At least it shouldn't be. It clearly is for Ryan Poles. The third round is not a place that you just say, we'll be good. We'll figure it out. For me, you shouldn't be doing that in the fourth round either. You should be finding your depth pieces in the fourth round. You should be saving $8 million on a running back and finding that running back in the fourth round, where many stars in this league have been found. By the way, Garendo, Bucky Irving this season. Oh, you also need a starting center. Cedric Van Pran has, I'm not going to sit here and say he's been perfect, but he's shown promise for a rookie. When you miss in those moments, when you gamble in those moments, that's how you find yourself back here. Now, to me, Ryan Poles, he's got the hits. Can you give me an album? He's got the big numbers. Can you give me an album? Can you give me something steady? Because steady is what takes Sam Darnold from being a quarterback prospect that was about to be out of the league to the dude who was almost kicking your butt yesterday. Not almost, who was kicking your butt yesterday. It was more Aaron Jones than anything. If we're being honest about it, you're in the same position yesterday because you keep, one, ignoring one of the most important positions in football, which is the trenches. And two, because you have this belief or this hope that a good quarterback will overcome all. Well, you got to help that guy to become a good quarterback. Again, I think Caleb Williams has all the talent, all the traits, everything you want to see in a quarterback. I'm not sitting here upset at the number 1 pick overall. I like the guy you got at the number 9 pick overall. I think that he's an impact player. I think that he's somebody who you can go out there and continue to build around. I think that they both will grow together. But for the love of God, why am I sitting here week in and week out talking about my quarterback's offensive line? Why are we sitting here week in and week out talking about the position you played, except you keep going the guys who are built just like you were in the third round? To me, you're taking too many chances with good depth draft capital. You're taking too many chances with important depth pieces. You've got guys who were drafted in the third and fourth round who can't see the field. I'm not telling you every third rounder should hit. I'm telling you some of them should hit. And I get it. Oh, Pat, it's just the third and fourth round, but that's why you're here. In Ryan Pohl's time of drafting here, there have been third and fourth round linemen that have been taken who are making impact starts in this NFL. That's a waste. You want to build this thing through the draft? You want to not go out there and spend the money to draft? Fine. You don't want to spend the money on it in free agency? You want to take this? Fine. But just like I said with Caleb Williams, right? You can't do both. For Caleb Williams, hey, you can't hold the football too long and miss the deep shot. For Ryan Poles, hey, you can't ignore it in free agency and gamble in the third and fourth rounds in the draft. I said it week 2. I said it week 3. I said it week 4. I've said it just about every week this season, and I'll stand by it. The quarterbacks who get the O-lines win. And for some reason, there's this belief that we don't need that here in Chicago. Meanwhile, we keep going through the same carousel of quarterbacks going, well, how can a quarterback actually throw the football if he can't assess the field? Every Bears fan hears it at this point. Every Bears fan knows it. We all know what it takes. We just don't want to admit it. We want to blame somebody that's actively on the team. But I tell people, look around the league. You go look at CJ Stroud and tell me he's the same quarterback this year that he was last year. What changed? You go look at, heck, Sam Darnold. Tell me he's the same quarterback he was this year that he was last year. Look at the difference in Matthew Stafford from when the team was completely devastated to the last 8 weeks when they've gotten healthy. That's my favorite one this year. Because Matthew Stafford, great quarterback, Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer. When that O-line wasn't there, not so great. He's washed. It's over. He's done. Hang him up. They're going to be in the draft for a new quarterback next season. Do they need to trade for a quarterback? All the storylines that we get. Offensive line gets healthy. 1 or 2 weapons start to sneak their way back in there. Oh, wow. This Stafford guy's still got it. Look at him slinging it. Oh, confident. Moving the ball. Shout out Paulie G with the super chat. He said it's really bad because most of the NFL teams are primarily built off of those later round picks. So you got to hit on those Rams, Niners, Ravens are examples. 100%. 100%. It's not just, oh, you missed on a third rounder, or oh, it's okay to miss on these third rounders. It's not just, oh, we don't need that pick. I get it. When you're playing video games, you may not care about your 3rd and 4th round picks. In real life, those are important picks. And those are picks that Ryan Poles has wasted. And so I'll ask you this to finish out the show. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Over 400 in the chat. 400. Is this a simple coaching change away from being fixed? Is this a simple go get Mike Vrabel away from being fixed? And you know what? When I thought about this question after watching last night's game, when I thought about, is this a simple head coaching change away from being fixed? 2 different answers popped into my mind. Yes and no. Yes, it is a simple coaching change away from being fixed. But no, not with the Chicago Bears. If this were any other franchise, if this were any other team that would let a head coach come in here and kind of dictate where he wants, where he needs his draft capital to be utilized on, hey, you got to get me a left tackle. You've got to get me a center. You've got to get me a premier guy at this position. If this were that kind of franchise that was going to let a head coach have a major voice as a part of the team that he wants to build, yeah, sure. Sure. Right? Like, yeah, I could see Vrabel coming into a situation if this were, if the Bears were in Tennessee, the Tennessee Bears here, same setup, same team, all that. He walks in the door and he goes, all right, I watched you, and you at the end of the season absolutely give up. You can get out. We'll trade you because we don't want your money on the books. DJ, yeah, I don't know what the heck that was, but you got to figure that out. You're a nice piece that we can use, but you gotta wake it up. You gotta lock in with us here. Over here, I think we got nothing. Like if you had that kind of head coach that walked in the room, sure, it's a simple head coaching fix away. That's not the head coach the Chicago Bears want. The Bears want a puppet. The Bears want a guy who shows up, coaches games, follows the analytics, and gets the heck out of there. We want this culture changer. We want this culture shifter. Bears fans everywhere are begging for the Chicago Bears to go out and get this guy that's going to come in the room and be Mike Ditka. You know who's not going to let that guy come in the room? The people in charge of hiring him. The people in charge of hiring him. The people who have to sit in a meeting with them every single week aren't going to let that kind of voice be in the room. And that's the realistic truth about it. This team, to me, is not that far off. Do you need to address the offensive line? 100%. The more that I'm digging into this, because listen, draft breakdown has begun, y'all. Listen, we're going to start dropping some draft breakdown videos because it is time. Draft breakdown has begun, boys. And it is, whew, let me tell you this right now. It's ugly. But the offensive line in this draft is better than what I thought it was going to be. Now that I'm sitting here and I've watched some of the guys. Of course, I like Cam. Is it Cam Ward? Cam Ward, I think, out of LSU. No, I'm sorry. Will Campbell. Will Campbell out of Cam Ward. Will Campbell out of LSU. I like some of the top guys, of course, and the Bears may be in a position to get a much better one than we thought. But you've got an opportunity to fix this offensive line. You've got an opportunity to build this team up with this draft to put yourself in a position where we go into it next season and go, oh snap, this is what Caleb could look like behind protection. Your free agents are not great. Your free agency is not great. You're not going to have a great free agency offensive line wise. I think you missed that window. That ship has kind of sailed because you want the bargain bin shop. But the team to me is not miles away from being fixed. And there's opportunity for you to fix it because of the positions that you put yourself in. There's opportunity for you to spend money next season to go out there and fix it because of positions that you put yourself in. You've set yourself up well for this upcoming O-line draft to where next season, everybody who's got the torches and the dogs at your front door might walk away because, oh, okay, he got it right. We just had to give him some time. Okay, I get it. The opportunity is there for a head coach to walk in and for this to be a head coach away from fixing the Chicago Bears. But then it clicks in your brain, oh yeah, we're not a real franchise. Oh yeah, we don't operate that way. Oh yeah, we don't do things that way. Oh yeah, we don't move in a manner that is beneficial to the long-term success of the team. We move in a manner that is beneficial to me having to sit in meetings with a guy. We don't move in a manner that says, hey, we've got a collaborative effort, even though that word is thrown around Hallis Hall just like a football is overthrown on Keenan Allen. We don't actually want that to be the case when our head coach wants to speak up and say, hey, maybe don't take a punter in the fourth round. We don't want that to actually be the case when a head coach may want to speak up and say, hey, maybe don't take this quarterback. I got this guy over here who's really freaking good, and I have it on good authority that he's going to be able to make all the plays and blah, 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 whatever it is. Hey, maybe don't hire the guy. I was speaking on Deshaun Watson and Mitch there, not Caleb and any of the other quarterbacks who are balling right now. But again, hey, maybe don't take the guy or hire the guy to come in here and fix everything just because he's your agent's client as well. And so you guys all four can go out to dinner together with the agent, and it makes travel real easy. The Bears don't want that guy in the building. The Bears don't want those conversations in the building. Because if they did, Matt Eberflus wouldn't have been here. If they did, Shane Waldron doesn't show up at our front door. The Bears want a guy who's going to come in, he's going to call plays, he's going to sit there and go, whatever you get me, Ryan, I'm just going to be happy to have it. Thank you. The Bears want a guy who's not going to make waves. I think about, it's so funny to me, right? Like when you think back on a show like the Hard Knocks show that the Bears had to do, when you think back on it, and I'm not sitting here saying, that I wanted them to be slinging F words left and right. But you were more concerned about people seeing you possibly say curse words than you were about how talented your football team is. You scrubbed every inch of that video, because I'm going to tell you this right now. Oh, the words was flying. You scrubbed every inch of the footage. I'm impressed they were able to put a show together. You went through every little speck of space to make sure that your franchise was not viewed in a bad light. And you didn't give that same effort to your team. You didn't give that same effort to the players that you had on the field. I mean, it was hilarious. I went back and I watched some of the old episodes, dog. And I mean, literally all throughout training camp. When you go back to like my training camp videos here on the Chicago Bears podcast, all of that, all throughout training camp, I'm literally just going, I mean, listen, there's no way we go into the season and we don't sign another offensive lineman, right? There's no way we go into the season and we don't sign a starting center. There's no way we go into the season and we don't sign an edge. There's no way we go. There's no way. There's a 0% chance that we can do that, because we watched a quarterback get flattened and have to run for his life last season because you had a center who couldn't block and snap. Actually, you had two of them, because you had a right guard who couldn't consistently stay out there. There's no way we do this again. And there wouldn't be a way you would do that again if you had somebody in that building that was willing to go up to Ryan Poles and willing to go up to Kevin Warren and go, hey, we got to talk. Him right there, he sucks. You got to get me somebody that can snap. You got to get me somebody who can snap, who can identify. Because I'll tell you this, it cracks me up watching Coleman Shelton. He identifies every bit of the blitz. We got fire here. Watch this guy. He sees all of it. Can't block. A real head coach goes up to the GM and says, hey, you know, we got a problem. He can't block. You cannot send me into another season, especially a season where if it doesn't go well, I'm going to get fired with a center who can't block when there's two of them available. But the Bears don't want that guy in the building. So while, yes, I do believe the Chicago Bears are a simple head coach, the right head coach away from fixing their mess. While I do think the Chicago Bears are a good hire away from fixing everything that has ailed them this season. Because remember, how many of those games can we blame on the coaching staff for being lost? And we're in a completely different position right now. While I can say all of that, you know what else I can say? That's not who they want. That's not what they want. That's not what they're going to do. They're going to hire the guy that makes life easy. They're going to take the path of least resistance because they don't like friction in that building. They don't like the confrontation. I don't care what any of them say. I believe your actions, not your words. Your actions tell me that you run from the confrontation, that you fear the confrontation, that you fear a head coach that's going to walk in there and say, hey, who's running the show? Because you guys look like a couple of idiots based on the last 3 seasons. Meanwhile, I'm coming in here to fix this thing. I do believe you're a head coach away. I don't believe the Bears will go get that guy. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Gotta get up out of here, man. We'll be back, of course, later today to break down more from this Chicago Bears game. Chicago Bulls got to win last night. Maybe it's time to start talking Bulls, boys. Not yet. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love.